Hello and welcome to Duplo International. I'm here today with a new solution that we're bringing to market. This is the DC-F100. This is an inline folding solution for our latest range of DC multi-finishers. When we released the DC-618 in 2020 and the DC-648 in 2021. Although they stretched the boundaries a little bit further with the multi-finishing capabilities, the one thing that we didn't have was a compatible inline folder to go with these units. We've now developed a completely new system, and the DC-F100 is that system. So as you can see here, I've got it bolted straight onto a DC-618, and this opens up the capabilities of the multi-finishers massively, and it makes this a one-stop solution right through from your printing press to your finished folded items. The improvements made with the system over the previous model, we no longer have a bridge between the DC system and the folder unit. We run from the DC directly into the folder. So we're running multiple applications through at the same time on the sheet, and it avoids the chance of the applications twisting as they move across the bridge to go into the folder unit. The restrictions on the system are also far less than they were previously. We can run from 110 gram at the lighter weight right up to the 400 gram. I can run a folded document right up to 500 millimeters long, so basically a 1 meter sheet folded in half to give me a 500 millimeter finished document on the large size, and on the smaller size our folded document right the way down to 85 millimeter. I can also run my applications down the length of the sheet at a width of 48 millimeters. So this gives us a smallest folded item of 48 by 85 millimeters, so a very small unit. Now, one of the things on the systems that we've had before is that if we go from running our folded items and we go over to items which are not folded or they are small, for example business cards, you used to have to remove the unit from the DC to enable us to run these business cards. Not only do we not have to do that anymore, but actually the DC-F100 has given us much better options to deal with this type of work. What we can do now is we can send our business cards out into an existing business card stacker. So on the DC-618, we can actually use the DC-618 business card stacker, which gives us a 60 millimeter capacity, and we can run through from the DC directly into that business card stacker on the lower tray here, the same as we would if we were running without the folder unit on the end of it. If I was to run this on a DC-648, I can select as an option during my purchase to have one of the 618 business card stackers, and we can actually use this on the 648 as well. Down the bottom here, we can hold about 600 business cards. But the other option with this is I can now bring the business cards out onto the conveyor at the top here, and I can stack them all the way down the length of the conveyor. Now this conveyor is 400 millimeters long. That gives me approximately 3,000 business cards before the machine would go into pause mode. Now we could select that, for example, to batch, so we don't have to rely on filling the whole tray. We could do our business cards in batches as required, but they actually come out onto this conveyor and they neatly stack in 3 positions as they go across the belt. We can also send down multiple jobs. So if I wanted to send jobs down that were not folded, I can still deliver out onto this tray here. This has got an automatic drive on here, so as the applications start coming out, it automatically moves down and allows you to get a very reasonable number of finished applications actually on the conveyor here at the end, allowing your operators to be away from this system for much longer periods than you could using the standard stackers. Now, one thing to mention on the DC-648, if you want to use your oscillating business card stacker that comes standard with the machine, you do have to remove this from the DC unit, and you can then install your oscillating stacker. Very, very simple. 2 thumb screws and we can actually pull this away. Alternative to running onto the top, if we're running with unfolded applications, so this might be applications, they might still be creased but not necessarily folded, I can also feed out onto the base tray here. Now, depending on the applications, the finished size of the applications, etc., you could work with it as it stands here. I do have access in here, and if I was running long applications out of the end, I can actually get into here to get hold of the applications from the end. But the alternative to this is a very simple solution. If I'm running applications that I want to run out onto the base tray, I have what we call a hot connector down the bottom here, which is this plug. I can pull this out. It's got a magnet on the side, so I can stick it out of the way so that it's not going to damage the paintwork on your system. And the conveyor very, very simply rolls out from the machine, and I can roll this right out of the way, and then that gives me full access to the tray here so we can operate this system in the conventional way. As you can see, this is a very, very simple system. It's very compact. As per everything within the DC range, it is incredibly energy efficient. So we are now giving you the opportunity to come directly from your printer using the automation within the software. We can actually put the jobs in, we can drive all of the jobs through one after another, whether they're folded, whether they're creased, whether they're just cut. We can run all of these jobs back to back through the system, giving you a very, very efficient and a very flexible solution for your print. So the software that we've got driving the folder is exactly the same software that you would have had on an existing DC-618 or 648, with the addition of the folding option within the tabs. So basically what we have here is we have the option to set up all of our standard jobs. So all of our standard, if I wanted to do a Z fold or a roll fold, for example, they are going to be within our standard settings. And again, incredibly intuitive, lots of visuals. So we can set these up very, very quickly, but also we can go in and we can do custom jobs within there. So I can set my creases and folds to exactly where I want to for certain applications. I can also set them independently. So if I've got a material that's not folding exactly where I need it to, or it's not folding exactly on the crease down to the structure of the material, I can actually independently move these items around. Now what we've got to remember here is I have here a solution whereby I can take the paper straight out of my printer into here. It can perform multiple functions through to the finished application. So this is effectively not one member of staff that I've got here now. I've potentially got two members of staff, and I'm actually able to bring my print over here, load it up. Using the system that I've got here, I can leave the system for much longer before it's got to be attended again. So that again leaves your member of staff far more flexible to be doing other things. I'm sure you'll agree with me. The DC-F100 in combination with the new DC range gives us a very, very powerful finishing solution. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you very soon, and this may well become a solution within your working environment. Thank you.